The Dragon's armada was a fact. The revolution was complete. The dynasty was established. With the stunning, high-speed serial production of the Type Sophie 5 class, China had done more than just build a few powerful ships. It had built a world-class fleet of modern dreadnoughts. The problems of technology, industrial capacity, geography, and even proficiency had been systematically and relentlessly solved. But in achieving this final victory, they created the most profound challenge of all, the problem of a new reality. For 75 years, the strategic landscape of the world's oceans had been defined by a single, undeniable truth: the overwhelming, unchallengeable supremacy of the United States Navy. This was the baseline, the fundamental assumption upon which all global trade, all alliances, and all military doctrines were built. China's new fleet of dreadnoughts did not just challenge this assumption, it shattered it. The problem was no longer about a vulnerable Chinese fleet. It was about a new, powerful, and permanent Chinese fleet that had to be accounted for every single day, in every ocean on Earth. This was a new and deeply uncomfortable reality for the established world order. This was a strategic earthquake. Every war game, every diplomatic calculation, every trade route had to be redrawn.
But the
first island chain was no longer a cage for the Dragon. It was now the front line of a new, contested space. The Indian Ocean, once a distant theater for the plan, was now a routine patrol area. The Western Pacific was no longer an American lake. It was a two-player game. This forced a painful and expensive strategic realignment for the United States and its allies. They could no longer assume that their most powerful assets, their aircraft carriers, could operate with impunity. This new reality created a constant, grinding pressure. The what-if scenarios were no longer about a single rogue Chinese ship, but about a full squadron of the world's most powerful cruisers operating in concert. What happens when a crisis in the Middle East coincides with a standoff over Taiwan? Could the US Navy be in two places at once, in strength when faced with a peer competitor that could do the same? The era of easy dominance was over. The arrival of a full-strength Chinese dreadnought fleet was not a future problem. It was the new, volatile, and dangerous status quo. The final piece of the puzzle was about to be put in place, making this new reality permanent and undeniable. The solution was the final, powerful punctuation mark on a 2-decade-long sentence of national ambition. It was the completion of the first great wave of China's naval revolution. The ship that would symbolize this historic moment of completion,
the new normal,
was the 8th cruiser of Project 055, a vessel named for a great ancient capital of China, the CNS Xianyang, hull number 108. The Xianyang was a statement of completion. Commissioned in late 2022, her arrival was not a surprise. It was an inevitability, the final, expected step in a brilliantly executed industrial and strategic plan. She was the ship that officially brought the plan's dreadnought fleet to its full,
systems check is
initial
complete.
Strength. She was the final brick in the Great Wall at sea, forged as a perfect, mature expression of the Type Sophie 5 design. The Xianyang's true significance was not just in her own 12,000-ton, and 12 VLS cell power, but in what the fleet of 8 now represented. Her commissioning was the moment the plan could officially declare its dreadnought building program a complete success, transitioning fully from a phase of construction to a new era of sustained global operations. Assigned to the Southern Theater Command, her role was to complete the powerful squadron of Guardians for the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean, cementing China's status as a true, permanent, two-ocean naval power. The proof of this new permanent reality is now the daily, routine business of the People's Liberation Army Navy. The CNS Xianyang did not deploy on a single, headline-grabbing first patrol. Instead, she became a seamless part of the new normal. Her deployments have been the undeniable proof of a Navy operating at the peak of its new powers. We have seen her, the proof in her routine excellence, operating as part of a full squadron of Type 055s, practicing complex, multi-ship doctrines that demonstrate a high level of crew proficiency and fleet integration. We see her taking her place in the rotation, allowing one of her older sisters to undergo maintenance without the fleet losing any of its high-end combat power. The most profound proof is in the confidence and scale of the plan's new global presence. With the full armada of 8 dreadnoughts now fully operational, the simultaneous deployment of multiple, powerful, carrier-escorting and independent surface action groups has become standard procedure. The presence of a Type 055 in the Indian Ocean or the Sea of Japan is no longer a surprise. It is an expectation. The Xianyang and her 7 sisters are the definitive proof that China has successfully built and can now sustain a fleet that can challenge any other navy on the planet. The era of uncontested American naval supremacy is definitively
How's
over.
the external diagnostics
The legacy of the
holding up?
CNS Xianyang is that
Everything
she is
is
the
green,
ship that
Captain.
represents the culmination of a historic national achievement. She is the final chapter of the first book of China's modern naval story. While the Nanchang was the revolutionary idea, the Xianyang is the symbol of that revolution becoming the new, permanent establishment. She is the ship that, by completing the fleet, allows the plan to institutionalize its new global role. She and her sisters are the reason that the 21st century will be defined, not by the dominance of a single naval power, but by the competition between two. They are the steel embodiment of a new multipolar world order. The CNS Xianyang is more than a cruiser. She is a symbol of a new era. She is a testament to a nation's ability to execute a long-term strategic vision with breathtaking speed and precision. In the high-stakes game for control of the 21st century seas, the arrival of this final dreadnought signals that the board is now set for a new and far more dangerous game. Share this video to explore the fascinating and strategically vital story of the CNS Xianyang, the ship that completed the Dragon's armada and heralded a new age